Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the new Dior Fall 2021 makeup collection. I have picked up both of the eyeshadow palettes and I've also picked up one of the blushes. So the eyeshadow palettes are called Early Bird, which is this one. The second palette is called Nightbird, which is the beautiful green one. And this is the eyeshadow palette I'm wearing on my eyes. And the blush doesn't have a name, there's just a number, and the number is 468. And the blush is also what I'm wearing on my face right now. I'm gonna start with the one Nightbird. Now I have the two bottom ones. And the middle one. As always guys, I am filming in a natural lighting, okay? Now moving on to the Early Bird palette. So again, I'm gonna start with the top two, and then we're gonna go to the bottom two and the middle. And the final item of this collection I've got for you is the blush. So let me just give you some initial thoughts I've got on these items. Now, while the whole collection looks absolutely stunning when I've opened, when the products arrived, when I opened them, I was in love. They look absolutely beautiful. I mean, especially this palette, it looks so unique, it looks so different to anything I own in my collection. So I was very pleased when it arrived. But while I was swatching the shades for you on my arm, I could tell these eyeshadows are more on a dry side. When I was swatching them, I kind of had to go around with my finger to it to make sure you see the pigmentation of the color really well. When I applied it on when I was applying on my eyes, and you'll be probably able to see it later on, I had to keep adding the shadow to make it more pigmented, which some people do prefer. They don't like this kind of, you know, big straight away, you know, a very intense pigmentation. They'd rather add it. But I did find I struggled a little bit to also build it, because I think of the formula of these eyeshadows, I found it a little bit harder to build and blend. Still a beautiful palette, but if I had a second choice to pay £50 again for it, I wouldn't. Okay, that's how the first impression goes. While the look turned out to be okay in the end, I do feel like it's a little bit patchy here and there. Yeah, so these are, I'm not really that impressed. While they look beautiful, I'm not very wowed. And the final thing I forgot to tell you, if you use this palette, I would suggest you use it before you do your face, because there was some crumbling of the eyeshadows onto my cheeks. So yes, keep that in mind. Moving on to the blush. Now the blush is, of course, as I said, is what I'm wearing on my face right now. The pigmentation is really nice. There was a bit of a product kickoff when I've put my brush into it. As you can see, hopefully, there are a little bit of specks of shimmer in there. They do go on your face, but they don't look chunky or anything like that. It's actually really nice looking, little tiny particles of shimmer. It's nothing too tacky. It's nothing tacky, okay? So just yeah, it's really pretty. There's a bit of a sheen to it as well, which what I prefer in my blushes. I prefer them to have sheen. I mean, I like this, I like it, I'm glad I bought it, but again, it's not a unique color, it's not a unique formula. It's a nice collector edition, or if you liked your products, I would recommend this blush, then that's fine. I think I would recommend, at this point, I would recommend the blush more than the actual eyeshadow palette. Okay, so that's it of me talking. Hope you kind of enjoyed this little bit of my thoughts. If you want to see the demo of these eyeshadows and how they applied, and the blush as well, then keep watching. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye. Firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the blush, and then we're gonna go ahead and move to the eyes. As you can see, there's a little bit of a powder kicked around when I put my brush into the blush. But let's see how the application goes. Well, the pigmentation is quite good. Yeah, it's definitely applying. As you can see, it's very pigmented. I've put a little bit on my brush, so the color payoff is really good, which is a good thing, of course. The color itself, it's a nice color. It's a really nice, pretty pink shade. Yeah, I look really flashed on that, but yeah, it is really nice and it blends really well. Actually looks very nice and smooth on my skin. It doesn't move any of my other products that I've got on, so it doesn't seem to be moving my foundation at all. The little specks, the little like glittery shimmery speck, not glittery, they're more of a shimmery specks, they are definitely visible on there, so they definitely do transfer on the skin. But they don't look terrible or anything like that. They look actually quite nice. But if you are not a fan of having like a shimmery, tiny, shimmery little specks on your face, that's not going to be really a product for you. But yeah, I think it is a nice blush. It applied really well, as I said. It blended really well as well. The color payoff is really good. And it does look nice and sheeny. I do like products, especially blushes or bronzers, with shine to them rather than the matte ones. So this particular blush is definitely up my eye. Okay, so I have just applied a little bit of powder underneath my eye. This is purely to avoid the shadow crumbling onto my face. I didn't realize they're gonna be crumbling so bad. But what I'm gonna do, I'm basically gonna go ahead and work with this shade here first. I'm gonna put it in my crease. This is gonna be going into my inner corner, and this shade here, sorry, this shade here is just going in on the outer corner and a little bit more into my crease.